Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic. In the next 5 to 6 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this Dodge Ram 2012 Dodge Ram 1500. Now, coming in on the front left tire, it pretty much worn out, and as you notice, the inside worn out more than anything. It's a good indication that the alignment is out. So that's the front left tire. Now, on your okay, you see your outer CV here is intact, and if you notice, your inside one is intact as well. I've got the jack under. If you notice, I got the jack, and that's to check the outer tie rod. That is tight, very important. I'd also check the lower control arm here, and it is tight as well. This is your sway bar link. It is intact. I am not now. If you could see just inside there, okay, you see where this this boot here, this is good and dry, because that's connected to the your steering rack, so there's no visible leaks as far as that goes. Now, just give you a quick perusal of the underside of the car there. That's the front diff, and good and dry, no leak in that thing, which is a good sign. And then just the front of the motor here as well, no visible leaks, oil leaks, which is looking good. On the front left. Now on your brakes, you got practically brand new brakes in here. I'm gonna say they've just been changed within the last 5,000 K. Your rotors have been changed as well, because they're very clean. So you got about 40,000 K on the front brakes. Now on your spring, if you can just follow that down, spring is intact and is good, and the upper control arm right here is tight as well. So everything's looking good, other than a tire that's pretty much worn out and probably out of alignment on the front left. Okay, coming in on the front right now. Okay, your outer CV, notice that, is good and dry, not ripped. Your inner CV is not ripped. With the jack, I've checked the outer tie rod. It is intact. A little hard to see, but the boot right here, which is connected to the steering rod, is wet with water, but not wet with oil, which is important. Your lower control arm is tight. Your sway bar link right here to here is intact. Your shock, I forgot to tell you on the other side, the shock, good and dry, which is important. So I'm not seeing any issues as far as this side. Now, that being said, your front right tire is pretty much worn right out. Okay, so that tire's pretty much had it. And again, alignment, I'm thinking it wouldn't be a bad idea either. Okay, coming in on just to check to show you the condition of the spring of your front suspension here. Okay, you can see your spring. Your spring is good and intact and not broken. Your shock is good and dry. Your upper control arm right here is good and tight. Shocks, brakes, again, same as the other side, practically brand new brakes, probably 40,000 K. Rotors are good and clean, obviously been changed with it as well. So your front end, other than worn out tires, is in good shape. Okay, coming in on the right rear, again, tires pretty much worn out on the back as well. Your exhaust is original equipment. It's not modified, and it is intact and solid. Your sway bar link from here up to there is intact. Your just give you a quick shot of your diff there. No leaks that I can see. You've got a spare. You've got dual exhaust, which again is original equipment. Yeah, and now just in a quick. If you notice, like this at the backing plate here, no leaks, there's no oil leaks. Otherwise, you'd see it dripping down on. You would be staining the back of the plate, but that's just water. So there's your sway. That's your control arm. That's intact as well. And your springs, if you can see up inside there, your springs are good and intact on the right rear side. Okay, on your back brakes, you've got about 30,000 K left, not as much on the back as on the front, but your rotors are good. No issues as far as those go, and That's looking not too shabby. The other thing that I haven't shown you, and that shock is all covered in snow, but you know it's not leaking. It's not leaking. That's the important thing. Okay, on your left rear, you can notice your spring. I'll just show you. See your spring top to bottom, good and intact. Your sway bar link, good and intact. Just another quick visual of the diff not leaking. Your tires pretty much worn out on the back as well. And then if you look at the bottom of the brake plate there, just straight ahead, no visible leaks, which is good for the outer seal. So back end looking not too shabby. Okay, coming in on your brakes. Yeah, same about the other side, about 30,000 K on the rear brakes. Rotors looking good.